Hello everybody and welcome to this condensed episode of the Train Sim News Show. I guess we can get away with calling it episode 28. And this episode will be nothing more than a full response to Dovetail's recently released video regarding Train Sim 2017 and Train Sim World. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. But first, because this is a response, let's play the obligatory transition.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Hello Adam, how are you doing today?
And I'm here in Marseille St Charles Station for a special show about TS17.
No, that's not Marseille, that's a green screen. Sorry, I'm just saying that to spoil the imagination of my younger viewers.
In a moment, I'm going to be talking to the development team, but first, let's have a look at the new trailer.
Alright, let's see what this new trailer has to offer for us.
Precision. The quality of being precise.
Oh dear, it's one of those
Perfect.
trailers.
Exact.
I'm gonna just stop the recording right here. I've seen all these trains before, I've seen all these routes before. The music was incredibly generic and did not make me any more hyped than I ever was. Which, to be fair, I wasn't hyped in the first place. And, well, I think the trailer you did for TS 2015 had so much more effort put into it compared to this one. It at least managed to keep my attention. And, well, that's something. Though I will give you credit for not actually using any pre-rendered footage. That's good. But yeah, I'm just gonna skip that trailer.
So, I'm joined in the beautiful Marseille Station by Jay and Jordan from the development team. Guys, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Now, what is TS17?
TS 2017 is TS 2016 with the content changed, and instead of a 6, they crossed it out and replaced it with a 7. Oh yeah. But they won't tell you that, no. That would be very bad for business indeed.
So with TS 2017, we've made a concerted effort to bring together a collection of our greatest and best routes into one great package.
Well, where the hell is the Weardale and Teesdale Railway? Oh yeah, DLC, because reasons.
In my opinion, the best collection of routes that we've put together into one of our yearly iterations to date. I think Jordan can list out the stuff we've actually got in there.
Yeah, so included this year we've got our first French route, Marseille to Avignon, that focuses on high-speed passenger runs in the TGV.
Let's ignore the fact that this route takes half an hour to complete. I guess it would also hurt if I told you that the MSTS one went to Valence and Nîmes. And it was also free. Plus, in MSTS, there are more members of the TGV family available. But, alright, I'll stop. Carry on.
We've got a German railway that focuses mainly on precision, it's Hamburg-Lübeck.
Please refer to Train Sim News episode 23 to find out why I think Hanover to Lübeck is a trash route.
We've got a fully action-packed South Wales coastal for our UK route.
And where does that run from?
That runs from Bristol to Cardiff. Yeah, so it's actually our first route into Wales as well.
You are aware that the Class 175 only runs between Newport and Cardiff, which takes about, what, 10 minutes? Oh, it also has sounds reused from the Class 180. Just saying.
And we've got our American modern-day commuter, which is North Jersey coastal.
And does that, on the coastline there, does it go into the heart of New York?
Yeah, right into the heart, so New York Penn, and it goes right down to Bay Head in New Jersey.
Wow, that's really cool.
Some awesome landscapes along the way.
Excellent. So, with all this going on, is this the end of the line for Train Sim?
No, not at all. Train Simulator's best days are ahead of it. We've got some incredible content in the pipeline, some really amazing stuff.
Let me guess, you're gonna bring back relay scenarios?
Cool. Jordan, do you have any details?
Yeah, I mean, to echo what Joe said, there's never been a better time to play TS than now. We've got a great selection of routes and locos coming ahead. Our highlights are San Francisco.
Wow, San
Everyone's
Francisco.
looking forward to that.
That looks amazing.
San Francisco? I didn't hear about that. And I couldn't care less, to be honest. In fact, to be bleakly honest, the only memories of San Francisco I have from my childhood are from Midtown Madness 2. Shame that game doesn't work anymore.
And we're going back into Austria with Innsbruck.
Innsbruck? I guess that's a chance to remake the old MSTS one. You know, Innsbruck to St. Anton. Or they could go from Innsbruck to Salzburg. I don't know, they didn't say what the other station was. So, if it turns out I'm right, whoopee-doo. Oh, and when they do end up making that route, I'm gonna just take a wild guess of the locomotive they're going to include.
cool, yeah, because we went there with Semmering Bar, didn't we?
Absolutely, yes.
And we've also got a number of third-party products coming up too.
Absolutely, of course, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
And all that work put in by those third-party developers is gonna be a humongous waste of time, for reasons you will find out later.
So let's have a look in detail at what's included in Tier 17.
Can you stop shoving that thing in my face of how this is the future of Train Simulator? Yes, it is the future in a way, and I will admit that I am going through some memory problems, but I think you can agree with me that bad memory does not mean bad attention span, it just means bad memory. Also, how can it really be the future of Train Simulator when your logo isn't even Chrome? Everything is Chrome in the future. Okay, here they're just simply listing out the products included in TS 2017, so we'll skip this and get on to what they've been hyping up the most.
But that's not all we wanted to talk about today. For some time now, we've been working on the next generation of Train Simulator. It's built on Unreal 4.
That's right, UE4 Train Sim. We finally get some news about it.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you Train Sim World.
Huh? Train Sim World? Hold on. Hold on a second. Yeah? What do you mean I have to make the joke? Well, before the commenters do? Alright, I'll do it. Train Sim World? Don't you mean Train Sim...
Train Simulator has been on really quite a radical journey. But there comes a point when technology is moving on.
Well, this game has room to talk on its DirectX 9 backside without any rebindable controls.
And you need to think, how are we going to give that best experience to our customers in the future?
That's easy. Don't just listen to the community, engage with the community. Make sure the products you make are to the best of your ability, and patches are treated as a last resort, not as a quick fix button. Alongside that, respect the source material and show the community some, basic level of respect as well. If you started doing that, I would have the slightest bit more respect for you.
And really that was the underpinning for why we felt it was important to start developing Train Sim World.
Woo! More Photoshop innit, lads?
Train simulation has unique requirements that other games don't have. We're simulating hundreds of freight cars all over a 60 to 70 mile route. Most video games can't do that. They don't do that. They don't need to do that. So we looked at a lot of different game engines, and really Unreal Engine 4 stood out.
Yeah, that looks pretty nice. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's certainly a step up from what we currently have in Train Simulator, so that's something.
It looks visually unbelievable. It's getting on for photorealism, breathtaking level of detail.
There's a lot of cool things you can do with UE4, not just graphics-wise.
Hold on a second, I recognise that name. This isn't a problem with the video or anything. Ben Laws, wasn't he the guy who made the Class 158 and was planning on making a version 2, which had much better modelling and stuff, but he never got around to doing it? Shame.
But you've also got all the edit tools allowing you to piece together the powertrain of a diesel hydraulic from the engine all the way down to the wheels. Literally everything is spinning in the powertrain. You can take those values and feed them straight into the audio system or the animation system. So what you hear, what you see, what is simulated are all tied together really nicely.
Again, it looks really nice, especially for pre-alpha, but I'm not gonna jump on the hype train just because it looks nice. That's not how I do things.
The first version of the product is a CSX Heavy Haul.
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that. Multiple versions of the game with single themes. Gee, I wonder if Train Sim World is gonna have a consumer-friendly DLC model. Alright then, well, what's included in a CSX version then?
It comes with 3 locomotives, which are the GP38-2, SD40-2 and the AC4400 CW.
So let me get this straight. Train Sim World. 1 route. 3 trains. All in the same livery and all looking very similar. This is what you're hyping up as an improvement to Railworks. I don't know how many times I have to keep repeating myself in order to get the message clear. If you keep making the same mistakes, well, expect nothing more than the same results. I don't care how good the game looks, if there is barely anything to do, who knows, Train Sim World, it may end up going too far in the wrong way. You end up just having eye candy instead of a good game. I'm not even tired of the DLC practice that exists in Railworks currently, I'm just bored of it. And it's very likely that it'll be repeated in Train Sim World, if not to an even worse degree.
The route is Sandpatch Grade, very well known amongst American rail fans.
But I'm not American and I couldn't give a damn about this route.
And the way that Unreal treats the images, the lighting, it's spectacular. I mean, the visuals are superb.
Yes, the lighting looks really nice, I will give you that. But I'm sorry, that's not enough of a reason for me to take interest in this game. You can't just rely on looks to make a good game. And so far, the only thing you've done is shown us that this game looks nice. You haven't shown us anything else.
You're no longer sort of a train. You can walk around the world, you can do what you want in it. Almost like redefining, I think, what a train simulator actually is.
This is very much the beginning. It's building incredibly solid foundations. You'll be able to get a lot out of what we start off with. But, in terms of the journey, as it were, overall, this is just the very beginning.
I think, it's a fabulous experience, showing what I've been dreaming about for the last decade. This is long before we set up the company. What I've dreamt of being able to do myself, which is to be a train driver in a real world, which is, it's what this is all about.
Yep, I had the dream of being a train driver too, though that's kind of gone out the window now due to my deteriorating coordination skills.
I'm joined here by Matt, the senior producer on Train Sim World. Matt, welcome to Marseille Station.
Thank you very much, Adam. Pleasure to be here.
No, it's still a green screen, no matter how many times you call it Marseille.
Now, a real burning question from the gamer 567 in our community is, will there be multiplayer?
There absolutely will be multiplayer in Train Sim World, absolutely. I'm really excited to deliver multiplayer in Train Simulator for some time. And with the way that we've been able to build Train Sim World, we can do that.
Alright, that's nice. They haven't explained how it works, so for all we know it could be inspired by my proposal, or it could be a hybrid career mode multiplayer. Ugh, I dread of anything involving Train Simulator and career mode.
So another burning question that we've had, obviously, a lot of people have investment, and Martin Dobmeyer has asked, will his add-ons still be compatible?
So TS1, TS 2017 will remain. You're not going to lose that. All your add-ons and your investment in TS 2017 remains. But
so there won't be anything bringing over. You've got your software, everything is still perfect, but actually this is a new area.
It's a new area. There's no backward compatibility at all between the two.
Do you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? No backwards compatibility, which means any add-on purchased after the release of TS World, and to an extent from now even, since TS World isn't far away from release, is rendered completely obsolete because, well, they're not going to bother continuing with TS 2017. It'll probably be forgotten very quickly. So to an extent, to people who invest in any of the new add-ons for Train Sim 2017 now, I have one thing and one thing to say to you only. You, my friend, have just been outplayed by capitalism!
And we've done that for a very specific reason. If you're going to be backward compatible, you're fundamentally limited as to how much you can extend what you want trying to do. And you generally end up being limited to like graphical improvements, things like that. We want it to do so much more with the signaling, dispatching system, physics systems, engine propulsions, all of this stuff. And by cutting the ties, we've been able to come up with completely new systems, much more built the way the real world actually expects them to be built. And we've taken it a quantum leap forward, which is something you couldn't do with backward compatibility. So the end result is significantly better, and we feel it's definitely worth it.
I agree, but the same problem still applies considering you're still making content for Railworks. If you stopped work on Railworks the minute TS World was released, that's a different story.
So, all this exciting stuff, how do we get our hands on it?
Well, I'm delighted to say that it's coming out in February, so it's coming out pretty soon.
February? That's 5 months away. Is it really that close to being finished? Okay then, I was expecting it to come out in September, but okay, February will do. Provided it's not rushed, of course.
But we're going to get it to you a little bit sooner. We're going to get it to you as a public beta in December this year.
December, okay.
December this year.
Beta testing in December? That's brilliant. I'm sure not just me, but loads of people are, in a way, really looking forward to actually delivering some criticism to you through your new game.
So, if you want to be involved in this beta, here's how. For a limited time, you'll be able to buy a special Tier 17 bundle that we're calling Pioneers Edition.
Yes?
Pioneers Edition comes with all the routes included in the Standard Edition, plus the popular Semmeringbahn route and a beta of Train Sim World CSX Heavy Haul.
Screw you, screw you, screw you! I'd rather give my money to the local con man and give you a single penny to beta test! How desperate are these developers? I mean, why couldn't you just do what the developers of Transport Fever did for their beta testing, where they got a selection of people who wanted to beta test, put their names in a hat, and basically randomly picked the names? It costs nothing, you're not guaranteed, but at least to an extent it's fair. Not everyone just has money to splash around here or there, and this is just a beta test of a game that, to an extent, nobody knows about. Buying into beta testing is nothing more than a risk on a consumer. End of story.
If you already own some of the routes in the Pioneers Edition bundle, you'll get a massive 75% discount on any of the routes you do not already own, using a new feature called Complete My Collection. If you already own all the routes contained in the Pioneers Edition, then congratulations, you'll get the beta of Train Sim World for free.
Well, thank you very much for continuing to support people with very varied tastes in Train Simulator, and for continuing to punish those who may not give a damn about American routes, or may not give a damn about German routes. Thank you so much.
TS17 Pioneers Edition will launch on the 15th of September 2016. And remember, TS17 Pioneers Edition is a time-limited offer. Thanks for joining us on this very special show. Remember, you can get all the latest news on TS17 and Train Sim World at train-simulator.com.
And that's the end of the video. I know a handful of you are really curious to hear my first thoughts on TS World as a whole, and honestly I think it's going to be as much as a scam as Railworks already is now, just with more graphics and more features. I mean, hell, they're asking for money just to beta test. I'm not sure how much these developers realise that first impressions really matter in the long run. Yes, TS Worlds really looks nice, okay, I will give it that. The lighting effects and shadows look spot on, but as I've stated before, what do good looks really mean at the end of the day if the content is really lacking? I'm not going to force everybody to hate TS World, and I'm not going to try and get everyone to start a lynch mob or anything like that. I definitely know people are going to be defending TS Worlds or even TS 2017 to hell and back. Okay, it's just natural in the Train Sim community for people to defend. I will, however, ask you to, instead of jumping on the bandwagon saying this game is going to be awesome, you should instead be skeptical. And I certainly wouldn't recommend you investing in TS 2016 just to beta test. Well, that's all I have to say with the information I have tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time, I guess. Goodbye.